Good evening. I'm going to be presenting on Recuva as a digital forensic tool. Uh, Recuva is a tool that can be used to recover deleted files, whether permanently deleted, either from an external hard drive, from a USB flash drive, from your PC, whether you have completely deleted the files from your various directories from your recycle bin. Recuva can be used to recover those files. So in this instance, I have got these files in this directory, which I'm going to delete. Then I'm going to use Recuva to try and recover these files. So let's start by deleting these files. I'll highlight them all and right click. Then I'll say delete. Then once I've deleted the files, automatically the files will appear in the recycle bin. Here are the files. You also want to completely wipe out these files from the recycle bin. So let's delete them so that we completely wipe the files from the machine. Here we go. Our recycle bin is now empty. We don't have anything in the recycle bin. Now let's try to recover the files using Recuva. So this is the icon for Recuva. If we double click it, here we select yes. Now this is the wizard that comes out when you open Recuva by default. So you can choose whether to disable this wizard or you can continue using the wizard. In this instance, I'm not going to disallow the wizard on startup. So I'll just continue by clicking next. After clicking next, the next window that appears is for you to decide or choose the type of files that you want to try to recover. Whether you want to try to recover all possible files, that is whether Word document, Excel files, images, videos, and so on. Or you want to just recover pictures, or you want to recover music, you want to recover documents, videos, compressed emails, and so on. So in this instance, I'm going to use all files so that we can try to recover any possible type of file. Then we select next. Then in the next window, you actually have to choose the specific location you want to scan for the files that you have deleted. So in this instance, I'm going to, you can specify the location. In this instance, I know my directory, so I want to go and locate this directory. So I'll click on Browse, then I go on the desktop, Recuva Demo Files. Say OK. This was where the files were. If you want to recover from the recycle bin, you simply select the recycle bin. So whatever that was deleted off the recycle bin, you will be able to recover those files. So once you have selected that, you click on next. And then here in this final window for the wizard, you have to decide whether to enable deep scan or not to enable deep scan. Deep scan have got an advantage and a disadvantage. The only disadvantage that it has is the time factor. It's time consuming when you want to scan. But if you want to have the possible outcome or you want to have the best outcome in terms of the results of your scan, the possible documents or possible files that you can recover, you can enable this option for deep scan. Then you click on start. So when you click on start, it will start to scan all the possible locations for the files and so on. Then a pop-up or an output window will come out with the possible files for you to recover. So our scan is begun, it's now on 4% and it will take a bit of some time. So far it's saying an estimated time that is left is 10 minutes. So while it's scanning, I can explain a bit further about uh, the tool Recuva, how we can utilize this tool in terms of performing digital forensics. So let's take, for instance, uh, you are in a financial institution and you are tasked to perform digital forensics on a certain issue that has arisen in terms of fraudulent activities. So, what people normally do or users normally do is when they had performed a fraudulent activity, they normally delete the files off their PCs so that it becomes untraceable. So when you've got tools like Recuva, you can try to recover all the uh, deleted files and see where the issue was. So in this instance, if you want to discover whether a user was doing some fraudulent activities and so on, you'll be able to recover files and trace the fraudulent activities and expose it. So there are various tools that can be used in terms of recovering deleted files, data, and so on. So in this instance, we have decided to demonstrate Recuva and demonstrate how best you can implement and use Recuva to recover files for digital forensics purpose. So let's see, let's be patient a bit as it goes through to scan, and we'll see what the output window will be saying to us. So let's be a bit patient and see how it goes. Now over 50%, and we are left with almost 2 minutes to complete the scan. So once the scan is complete, that doesn't mean that we have recovered the files. We need to move on to the next phase, that is selecting the file that you want to recover. If you want to recover all the files, then you have to select all the files via the checkboxes provided. So sometimes you might decide to say, I want to recover this certain file. Uh, that also require you to know the file name and so on. Sometimes you won't be provided with the file name, so that will become a challenge to actually be able to select the rightful file that you want to recover. So normally people who decide to recover almost everything, or depending with how the scan was. So if you decide to recover all the files, that will be good for you so that you can actually go through and see all the possible files that was deleted. So we are left with less than a minute for the scan to complete. So if it was not a deep scan, that implies that it would have finished already to scan and would have seen the results already. So let's just be patient a bit since we have chosen the deep scan option. It's done scanning. So as you can see here, it has not given out any files for us to see. So there are other options that you can try to use also, like if you want to do a scan maybe let's try to scan for maybe documents and see how it performs. And we can actually try to scan from the C drive and see. Let's perform a scan for the contents and see how it performs. Here we go. Now, as you can see from this big screen, this is the output window. This shows you the files that I've selected for documents. If you want to select for pictures, music, and so on, that's up to you. So these are the files that were deleted. So now I will demonstrate, or I will explain further in terms of the meaning on those color-coded file name column. So now, if you go to that file name column, those files that are green flagged, that means that those files can be completely recovered. And the amber files means that those files may be recovered or are more likely to be are likely to have been damaged or be partially recoverable. Then the red flagged, it means that the file is unlikely to be recoverable. So now here we have got an option, or we have got the button recover, which is disabled because we haven't selected any file to recover. So in this instance, I'll select everything and I'll say recover. Then you are asked to select the location for the recovery. So in this instance, I will go and locate my folder in the Recuva Demo files for recovered files. And I'll select OK. Then this warning I will just ignore and say yes. Normally this warning is saying you want to restore the files to the same drive, which can actually reduce the chance of successful recovery. So I'll just say yes. Then here it will give you the statistics of the files that have been recovered, that has been partially recovered. If there were also failed files, it was also going to display that output result here. So in this instance, the total recovered files are 17, then the fully recovered files are 12, and the partially recovered files are 5. And the operation completed in 8 seconds. So now let's navigate through to the folder location or the directory where we have recovered our files to. Here is the folder. So these are the files that we actually recovered. As you can see, the names are not in meaningful status. So you need to now go through and see which the file is the possible file that you're looking for. But these are the files that we have recovered. So that was the demonstration for Recuva, how you can actually recover files that has been deleted, whether from an external drive or from a PC and so on. That's the end for the demo. I thank you.